I do love myself some good vampire stories, from dark and psychological ones like Bakemonogatari to the more lighthearted ones like Rosario to Vampire. And this summer I got treated, because Vanitas no Karte is truly a refined vampire story. Only a few minutes into the first episode you will find out how elegant and eccentric this show is going to be. The story goes around Vanitas, a man who carries a grimoire called the Book of Vanitas, and his goal is to heal vampires from a curse. In his travels he encounters Noe, an archivist vampire who was assigned to find him. Noe, intrigued by Vanitas, joins him in his crusade in a late 800s Paris, France. The story premise is really good, and they set it up masterfully. You know from the beginning that this story is going to be interesting to say the least. But then, when we reach into mid-season, things start to deviate a bit. The story takes you through other subplots. It starts to get a bit difficult to understand the difference between the plots, getting way too much convoluted. Thankfully, the season does have a strong ending in my opinion, when the story focuses more on the main plot. And to be frank, the only reason why I didn't lose interest by mid-season is because of its very strong early one. Now, the storytelling style does have its flaws, because we are never revealed the actual plan as it should be. We are just given hints here and there, and the characters move from one situation to another one, but what they try to achieve by doing so are kept in secret until it is suddenly revealed, which can make the story hard to follow. I also have some issues with the pacing, in which the audience sometimes is taken into very grotesque sequences and then disconnect with hilarious jokes and situations. It's difficult to say exactly what type of vampire story Vanitas no Karte is, because it tries to be many at the same time. There is action in it, but it's not very impressive, and these sequences are very short. Sometimes they come out of nowhere. It also has its comedy, that serves to relax the viewer when the story gets too tedious or intense. But it is also a romantic drama. This is probably the best part of this particular story, and it should be, given the setting and the vampires. It has all the elements to tell that kind of story. For me, the best one for a vampire one. I always envision the relationship between the vampire and his or her victim an intimate one. It should be painful and romantic in my opinion, and Vanitas has some of it, and when they manage to pull it off, they do it brilliantly. The main two characters are Vanitas and Noe. Vanitas is mysterious and eccentric, not to mention egocentric. We barely get any background early on. Noe, on the other hand, is more mature and tries to keep a cool head most of the time. But as the story develops, the vampire cannot hold his own, and many times succumbs to either Vanitas or his feelings. There is a strong connection between these two characters, and it's really good when they clash together. Now, there is a general feeling that this should play out more like a yaoi relationship kind of story. The thing is that most of the feelings on that sense comes from Noe towards Vanitas, but not like a man, but like a prey. In my opinion, this is very clear, but I can see, with some alterations to the story, this happening in the future. Jan is introduced as a very scary and powerful vampire, but Vanitas gets to seduce her early on. After that, Jan is mostly used as a comedic character, which may be a disappointment for a lot of viewers, but in my opinion her relationship with Vanitas is one of the best things in this story. It gets very intense. After those three we get more characters, but eventually they get pushed to the background. Some of them have a strong introduction like Dante and Dominique de Sade, but they just vanish for most part of the story. The best part of Vanitas no Karte is its art. Backgrounds and animations are stunning and visually impressive. Attires and colors blend perfectly with industrial France. It's just beautiful to watch. Its weakness comes from animation in action scenes. However, there are short sequences so it doesn't get too distracting. I do strongly suggest to watch this anime sub, because Vanitas' voice is a delight to hear. Natsuki Hanae, who is best known for giving voice to Tanjiro, gives life to this character, and in my opinion is one of the best I heard this year. The OST is also pretty good. Wakabayashi's mix will make you feel like you really are in the streets of Paris. Again, it's a very refined anime. And even though the OP is forgettable, the song I mean, as for the animation, is great, the ED is pretty strong, one of the best of this summer season. Vanitas no Karte will not go down in time as the best vampire anime ever made, but certainly is one of the most beautiful ones that I've seen. The biggest issues of this presentation being a convoluted plot by mixing main plot with subplots, to the point of getting tedious and confusing as a result, and weak action sequences is masked by its beautiful presentation, outstanding sound, and some intense romantic vampire victim scenes. Vanitas no Karte is a 7 out of 10. With the second season already confirmed for January, I cannot wait to see where this story goes next. So, tell me, did you watch it yet? Do you like this kind of vampire stories, or do you prefer those that are darker? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you did, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord for free, the link is in the description section down below, and as always I wish you all a wonderful day.